All right, this week I have been asked a question about staying motivated through the Christmas period. Firstly, I just apologise. There's some construction going on outside, so if there's any noise coming in from that distorts the sound a little bit, my apologies. Can't do much about it, but we'll press on. So staying motivated over Christmas. So with this topic, I guess it really comes down to staying motivated in general. Now, one of my opinions is that motivation really isn't the thing that you need to be relying on to stay consistent and keep your training up over any period, let alone over the Christmas period. If you're relying on motivation to do particular things, then you're going to put yourself into a hole and you're going to fall into the trap, because motivation during different times can be super hard to come by. I mean, it's a very fleeting emotion that comes through really, really quickly, and it can go just as quickly as it came. What you really need to rely on is that discipline to just do the damn thing. Like, come in, do your work, get it done, and keep going. Now, during times where you're busy and you've got a lot of other stuff on, and you maybe have higher priorities due to family and things like that means maybe you're a little bit limited for times that you can get into the gym, then you've got to really stop saying that I don't have time to do certain things and work out what's the highest priority. Okay? There is always time to do something. There is always time to work out. There is always time to eat well. But what tends to happen is when we get busy, we legitimize bad behaviors and bad habits in our mind to make this, I guess, mountain out of something that isn't really there. Now, do you have to maybe be a little bit smarter about how you allocate your time? Absolutely. Perhaps it might mean that instead of training 5 times a week, you can only train 4 times a week, because you've got other priorities, family around, spending time with the kids or whatever the case might be. These are things that for some people are going to be a higher on their list of priorities rather than that extra hour of exercise. But you need to do something. You need to stay disciplined in what you do, because when life gets tough and when life gets hard, if you just wait for motivation to come around, sometimes it ain't fucking there. So you need to really just put your head down and just keep pressing and keep charging, and especially during this time, during the quote unquote festive season, where some of the stuff we do to ourselves is a little bit self-inflicted, whether we've gone off the deep end sinking piss on the weekend and we just need to, for all intents and purposes, pull our head out of our butt and get into training and just get it done. From the point of view of training and the environment that we provide here, every single person that comes through here has a level of contact with a coach. So we're setting you up with an extra level of accountability instead of just going to your regular old commercial gym where the onus is on you a little bit more, rather than having to book in for your classes or having a program done for you for a set amount of days per week, which has already been predetermined with your coach. And then when you don't do it or you don't show up, you've got us on the phone to you, or us, sending you a message wondering what the hell's going on and why you're not doing it. So, it really comes down to your ability to execute and your ability to stay disciplined enough and stay focused on what you want to achieve. So the question of staying motivated over Christmas really comes down to not a lack of motivation, but really just a lack of discipline on your behalf, just to do the little things that need to be done in order for you to succeed. And this doesn't just go for your training, this goes for a lot of other aspects of life. It's very, very hard to keep finding motivation, especially when it's hard, when times are hard, times are tough, and you've got other things. You've got to stay disciplined, you've got to stay focused. Now, a little tip is to try and set yourself up with either levels of accountability, and the way you probably need to set yourself up with those levels of accountability is plan shit out. So if you know that you're going to have a Christmas party on the Saturday, and there's a better than average chance that you might still be a little under the weather on Monday, and Monday's one of your regular training days, then how are you going to reprioritize and reorganize stuff during the week to make sure that you still get your 3 sessions a week in? Sunday's your prep day, and if you're going to spend all day in bed, how are you going to make sure that you get your prep done? Now, if you're the type of person that can just pull yourself out of it, get in the kitchen, do your prep, come on in on Monday and get it done, great. That's really what needs to happen. But if you're not, plan ahead. Know what you need to do and what you need to set out in order to succeed for the rest of the week. Because I think we've all been there at one way or another. You have a big night, and then all of a sudden you don't do what you need to on Sunday, which then doesn't set you up for Monday, and then the week spirals out of control, and you get to Tuesday and you're like, well, fuck it, Monday's a waste, I might as well waste the rest of the week. If for some reason that does happen, don't just throw in the towel on Tuesday. Get back on the horse, get after it, and try and keep that discipline and keep those habits going. Because if you throw 1 week away, it becomes too easy to throw 2 away, then it becomes easy to throw 3, and so on and so forth. So the bottom line in how to stay motivated over the Christmas period or over any period is don't wait for any motivation, because chances are when you really, really want it, it's not going to be there. You need to get disciplined, and you need to just do it. Have a good week. Bye.